Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're breaking down the six-figure dividend portfolio, and then on top of that, we're going to look at what six figures and student loans can do to you. So let's jump right into this. Welcome back, my passive income investors alike. This is going to be a fun video. Unfortunately, sorry for the delay in videos. I got a new phone, new editing software. I'm trying to learn a bunch. It's really hard to post videos right now of my face because I need to do some converting software, things that are driving me nuts. But I'll have it all resolved for you tomorrow. But more importantly, let's analyze the portfolios really quick in this weird, volatile market we live in. And then I'm going to break down for you some interesting things about student loans. But first and foremost, guys, we're going to go over the three accounts, and then maybe well, you guys know the dividends I make. If you don't, stick around because I make a lot of juicy dividends. But that is what this whole portfolio is about. So let's take a quick peek here, guys. Bank of Nova Scotia and Canadian Imperial Bank, my Canadian holdings to start. I'm still getting a retribution on my Canadian Imperial Bank from the evil Steve Eisman, who thinks he should be shorting this into the ground. He could be very well right, but I'm sitting here on the fence debating on, I don't want to sell all of this ever. I want to hold this long term, but I think I have a little bit overexposure to it. So if it comes back into the 105, 110 area, I'm going to sever off about 2,000 or 3,000 to leverage into another company. But in the meantime, I'll have the drip set up. I have no problem holding this down here. If a crash comes, I could see this stock getting into the low 90s, high 80s, but even to me at this point, that seems like a bit of a stretch because most of this seems priced in already. Plus, they have the loan loss provision going on. But let's take a look. Actually, let's see what the rating is on this. Will this open for me? Is it going to lag her to hell? No, it's going to open. Awesome. Even better. So we can see a lot of bulls have come back because this thing was very bearish about a couple months ago. We can see the 5.6% dividend yield is unreal. We take a quick peek at the charting, guys. You can see the last 6 months, the last year, the last 5 years. Well, the last 5-year chart's not so bad, but the last year and a half has been pretty rocky for this company. But I think, like I said, it's at a good price point right here. But moving on, we're looking at my favorite utility of all time, the one, the only, Northland Power. This company, I'm surprised there's so much bear rating on it. I severed off some of this company because I owned way too much of it, reset up the drip, and I'm really happy with this company because it pays a monthly dividend. I get over 5% yield on this sucker. As we can see, my average buy price is $23.30, as we said at 25. This is one of the first stocks I ever bought, and don't you forget it. I'll be holding it for a very long time. But more importantly, let's move into the U.S. positions in my tax-free savings account. By the way, the TFSA currently sits at $85,649, which is still way up from the starting yields, because I think you can only contribute $62,000. So I'm really doing well in this account. Really, really like this account. I'm glad what I did with it. But looking at the U.S. positions to diversify from my Canadian positions, but I hold a lot more U.S. in this account. Don't trust Canada too much. Like the U.S. a little better with their companies when we're talking about MO to start. Altria Group waiting for that big merger with Philip Morris to happen. Everyone's patiently waiting this, and for some reason they took it as bad news. It's going to really help both the companies. It's going to give Philip Morris exposure to the North America, and it's going to give Altria Group exposure to the global market, especially when it comes to the new vape generation that's coming up. I love this company with a passion. I love the dividend yield. Think it's super reliable. Have no problem buying it. I've set it up on a drip, so a repayment system. If you don't know what that is, you can read that right there. But looking at Apple, this is one that I still love. I'll hold this my entire life. I still plan on buying some more over time as dividends come in. This is something that I don't know. It's just going to be part of my portfolio. I never have a problem holding that along with Microsoft. But lately, Microsoft has been well outperforming Apple in my portfolio, as we can see here. I've got both the positions levered pretty evenly at this point. But we can see my other tobacco holding, British American Tobacco, is also haven't been doing well. I think it's because when people hear bad news or they don't accept the news, you can see like a sector will get hit. And I can't foresee why British American Tobacco went down, and it just went down with the other tobacco stocks. But what I think causes that is just the fact that people might be selling out of ETFs, fear, worry. They just kind of flee the tobacco industry. But hey, I love it. I'll buy your shares you're selling. I have no problem with that. GO Group, Elizabeth Warren, one of the presidential uprunners, is the reason for my poor GO to do so poorly. When I bought this, I thought I was buying it on a dip. If we take a look at the chart and the analysis here real quick, guys, we can see over the last year when I was buying it, I was buying it somewhere in these dip areas here around the low 20s to mid 25-ish. And then I thought this was a good bottom for it, but the second Elizabeth Warren opened her mouth and started trying to talk about abolishing the prison system, it took it down quite a bit more from where I was buying it. So I have no problem with this company. I still love it as a long-term hold. It's one of the best performing REITs of all time. I can't show you a full chart on here, but trust me, this thing has done exceptionally well over the last 30 or 40 years since it became public, I think in the 1980s. A wonderful company. And then finally, my last utility in this account, this thing always does well. Southern Company, I don't know what your deal is. I bought you on a recommendation, went through your books, kind of like you a lot, getting a really healthy yield. I think I'm at well over 5% yield on this company. I can't buy more with my own money out of my pocket because I'm so bothered by how much this ran. And let me show you the chart real quick just to give you a quick idea here, guys, because this thing's been on a tangent lately. So I'm just going to set it up on a drip. I'm not going to punish it because it's doing well, but I am certainly going to set it up on a drip and let the shares just repurchase themselves. So moving into my next account here, guys, my managed account. We can go over this one really quick because these are most of the new positions you're familiar with, and this account looks like it's been under tyranny lately. But I don't mind it, guys. I don't mind it. I'm buying all these companies for long-term holds. I love the companies I hold, and because I only bought these recently, we're not even a year deep. So this account hasn't, and actually this account has been also one of my best performing accounts with my TFSA, though it doesn't show the capital gains here. Trust me, this account has done well for itself, but looking at 3M was one that I purchased on your behalf, seems to be down or relatively flat. I don't consider it really being down when I'm only down 3%. 3 to 5% loss is not a loss. You don't accept it until you sell. But ideally, all of these companies, I like to see a little more in the red because these are the companies I want to continue buying over the next 2 years. So especially Johnson & Johnson, I'm really happy this continues to drop. I bought starter positions in Johnson & Johnson, Starbucks, Tesla, along with 3M, and I love all of these companies immensely. I want to buy more of them. It's just, the tax game and just playing everything in between. You got to be a little careful, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just using starter positions because these are going to be long-term holds. So I'm going to pick up some more Johnson & Johnson. I definitely want to pick up some more Starbucks, which you can see I bought it when the dollar was up, but I'm pretty much flat on my Starbucks position. It's just a company that never seems to go down. Tesla, like I said, I still love this company with a passion. I think this company is going to explode into the future. When you buy volatile companies, you got to expect the volatility game. But as a long-term hold, obviously it doesn't really suit my dividend account, but I really like this company a lot with what they're doing with batteries. They're becoming one of the largest battery producers on the planet. I think they're going to be a revolution in the future, whether self-driving comes into play or not. This company's poised for some amazing, amazing things. I'm not going to go over too much in here. Johnson & Johnson is just getting through some major lawsuits right now with the opioid crisis that was going on, but I've used it as part of my drug sector. If you can't tell, I love the drug sector. I own a lot of BTI. Starbucks I consider a drug. MM is just one of the few companies I own along with the banking sector and the utilities that isn't really part of the drug sector in my opinion, but definitely Starbucks, coffee, caffeine, it's all a drug, don't kid yourself. Now looking at my newest account, the safe account, the account that I'm using to buy real estate, maybe anywhere from 2 to 5 years from now. I'm going to build this account up to defer some current tax income. Obviously, I can't collect the dividends off this without paying penalties, but I can withdraw against this at some point to buy a property, which is the end game for this account. So I'm just holding it with really safe companies, the only safest company, an ETF, and of course a Vanguard ETF. We all know this is just a Canadian version of the S&P 500. If you live in Canada, I definitely recommend you check out VFB. So this I don't expect to do a whole lot, but I just want to put it somewhere where I know if the market crashes, I'm not going to see major burning, and if I have to sell it in a short-term period, I know that I'm not going to take any major losses. So I like putting in a nice safe holding for that. And then finally, my new account, I don't want to rate you right now, Royal Bank, but here we're sitting on my final shares of Triple M. Again, bought on your recommendation, guys. I'm not sure what the stock is at in this account right now, but I love 3M, obviously, as I'm sure many of you do. And it was your recommendation. It was on my top 3 stocks to buy based on your recommendations. And I will purchase more at some point in the very near distant future. Just gotta, like I said, guys, gotta get the income up here. Gotta keep everything moving. Finally, maybe we'll just take a quick peek at StockTwits. I was gonna say Starbucks again, but StockTwits, guys, my favorite place to look at stocks. I'll be joining the Stocktoberfest this year. If you guys live in the US, you're going to San Diego for Stocktoberfest. I will be performing there for you guys on behalf of StockTwits, so I'm really looking forward to that. But maybe we'll just scroll through the account and just take a look at all the positions real quick that I pay attention to on my watch list. We want to scroll down more to some of the more interesting things. Procter & Gamble's been on one hell of a run this year. It's been one of the best performers. I sold out of way too soon. Ugh, hurts me inside. Constellation Brands, another one I sold out of recently, and it seems to be holding flat. It's doing well with its Modelo and its beers, but it's currently claiming that it's lost about $40 million on Canopy, which is definitely expected to happen, which I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about in the forum here, but I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I got more pressing I want to show you guys. But just scrolling through real quick, let's take a look at what else is going on in here. Netflix has been getting plummeted by Apple and Disney. That's been coming out with their streaming services and everyone pulling media from them. Bitcoin took one heck of a tank there. If you guys missed the Bitcoin little crash that happened, or the cyclical cycles Bitcoin likes to go through, it had quite a little drop from its highs. And it was really funny to be in these forums because, man, oh man, if you want to see like the best memes, just head on over into Bitcoin here and you'll see the confusion and all the craziness going on. Grandpa, where were you the day Bitcoin broke 20K? I don't know. These are pretty funny to watch, guys. When Alabama wakes up, this is going to really take off. The memes here are the best, guys. You're going to end up eating a steady diet of government cheese, living in down by. I don't know. It's probably not going to open that. Very interesting. I haven't seen this meme before. Alien doing something that's not legal. Oh, these guys the best. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know why I'm doing, you know what movie that is, Indiana Jones. I don't know why I'm doing that joke right now. But anyways, let's go take a look at the video I've been teasing up to this point, which has to do with broke at $100,000. I just wanted to listen to a little piece of this. I'm going to leave the link in the description below for you guys, but this is crazy to me. This is the student loan crisis that the entire country is facing right now.
My PayPal balance. I made all of this debt under the assumption that when I got out of college, since I was going to, you know, a good school, I was doing what everybody told me, that when I came out of college, I was either gonna have a job to supplement what I put in, or I was going to, you know, be a famous YouTuber because that's what I wanted, or a famous makeup artist, and in a year my problems would be solved and I wouldn't have any issues. I would pay off my loans because I was a millionaire and I would live happily ever after. That's not how life works. And this year has been the most humbling year of my life. And I'm really grateful for it, but it has also been a lot to deal with. But I'm so grateful for the lessons I have learned from it, from graduating, from not being able to make that much money, from realizing my dreams.
Good point right there, okay, guys? Dreams and reality are two different things, and I feel so bad for her because we've all been in this situation, I think, to some extent. When I started my business, I took out a $20,000 loan. I was 20K in debt at 19, and then I paid it all off by the time I was 23, learned about investing all along the way, and before you know it, boom, I'm 27 with a six-figure bank account. Can't really complain, but I feel so bad for her because I know so many people living this life right now where they're living at home, you know, upper middle class, pretty much broke because their parents convinced them to take out loans to go to school. I'm going to leave, like I said, the link in the description below for you to learn from this. I feel so bad for this poor girl. It's a shame her parents couldn't have guided her better, or somebody wasn't there to say, like, look, you shouldn't be doing this. I wish I had somebody like that, but the only friends I had back then were friends that were pushing me into debt. And I had to learn, guys. We all have to learn. And this is an incredible video to watch. I'm sure we've heard about the insane amount of student loans, and 50% of them are defaulting at this rate right now. And well, no, I wouldn't say defaulting, but 50% of them are basically not getting paid back right now. And people are putting them on idle where they're just paying the basic debt. I showed a video about this in the non too distant past there, you guys can check out as well, where I kind of was making fun of this kid that was so oblivious to his reality because he just completely didn't want to worry about his debt. I'm glad that she's come to a good realization for this. And like I said, guys, you don't need to take out six figures to go to school or get an education. It hurts inside. All of my friends went through this. So I just want to finish on that. There's so much in this video, guys. It's 20 minutes. I really suggest you check it out at the beginning.
Hey guys, it's Lacey, and I am broke as fuck.
Bam, that says it all. Stay cool. Stay awesome, guys. I look forward to chatting to you real soon.